Named the 4th best business coach to follow on Twitter, which he has over 90,000 followers, the 9th biggest leadership influencer, and 18th top tweeter in Toronto. Bobby has spoken at TEDx 4 times, is an executive education instructor, and a fiercely proud new dad. Please welcome Bobby to the stage.
So everywhere I go, I've noticed that people are lost academically, professionally, personally. People in high school don't know what to do after university. People in university or college, what do I do next? People working for 2 years, now what do I do? Or did I pick the right career? People 5, 7 years, am I on the right path? Maybe I should go back to school. People 20 years saying, you know what, I've got a great job as a vice president of a large-scale organization, making tons of money with 2 beautiful cars, giant house, and wonderful kids, and I'm miserable at work. Because I saw the potential. This is a fantastic, it's got great features. Facebook, for example, really threw me off because I was like, wow, it has Flickr, MSN Messenger, eBite, all in one. That was awesome. I was like, wow, that's really cool. And so I canceled all my other things like Friendster, Ringo, Orkut, High Five, MySpace. I canceled all those things. And what I found was every person has a voice, every person has a message, every person has a story that they have to share. So Twitter is a great way for me to do that as well. So I have a Facebook business page and I have my Facebook personal page. Okay. My personal page is for anything I want to talk about, whether it's dealing with, I talked about vaccines versus the vaccine autism issue, I talked about the Quebec Charter, I talked about politics, I talked about Rob Ford, I talk about leadership stuff, I talk about everything I talk about my kids. Mm-hmm. On my business page though, there's some things I don't talk about. I don't talk about politics, I don't talk about philosophy or religion, things like that might not be for my target. And for me, one of my big philosophies has always been, and this is a part of my TED Talk, which is, if you care genuinely and deeply about a cause, an idea, or a person, and you communicate in a proactive and positive way, you create a deeper, more powerful connection. Follow-up is so critical. In fact, I'm going to say right here, not following up renders networking useless. What is the point of making connection with me, getting me email, getting me a business card, adding a LinkedIn when you do nothing with it? Some people you follow up with, every month that are really important to you, and other ones you might follow up, with your status updates or maybe a newsletter every year, that type of thing. But it's important for you to follow up. You can either be the top 20% that gets my card, you can be the top 8% that follows up, or you can be the top 0.4% who creates a relationship with me. Gratitude for their time. I gave you a follow-up. I said, make it clear, I really want to connect with you on LinkedIn. Can we add each other? I have people who want me to introduce them to 10 people or to different people. So what I usually say is, look, give me a list of the 5 people from my list that you want to introduce to, and I'll choose, I think, who's the best person. And so I'm talking to them, and what I'll do is I'll listen to what they both have to say. And then I'll compliment her. I'll say, you know what, Sheila, that's a fantastic thing you said. I love how you mentioned this thing because it reminds me of something that I'm interested in. And when I compliment her, she's like, what? She's like, wow, he's complimenting me in front of the person I'm trying to network with. And she's like, wow, he's complimenting her, and I'm trying to network with her, and he hasn't said anything nice about me. And next thing you know, now both of them want to talk to me. Why do we do social media? Well, social media, we talked about your voice and your story and your brand. Well, social media amplifies all 3 things. Twitter is a perfect place to do that. It's fast, it's real, it's accessible, and when you think of all the coolest brands, people, leaders, inspiring individuals and experts, are they on there? Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you should be too. When you tag people, you have to be very careful. It's got to be relevant. It's got to make sense. Well, I mean, my rules for Twitter is you can follow me all you want. I mean, if you want me to follow you back, send me a message. I'll tweet me or something. Engage me. I'll follow back. I mean, I can't follow hundreds of people all the time. Top 5 tips for social media businesses. If you're going to be in business, what's your strategy? Number 1, be present. You want to make sure you try Twitter and try different tools before you actually buy into them. Okay? Be prepared. Have a content strategy. What is actually your strategy going to be? What are you going to share? How are you going to share? How frequently? Who are you targeting? These are things you have to think about when you actually want to get online from a business perspective. You have to be responsive. You got to be able to, because once you get on board the Twitter train or the Facebook page train or whatever train it is, you have to be responsive. You can't just throw out there and leave a tombstone for everyone to see. And when it comes to social media ROI, The idea here is the return on the investment is based on the return on the relationship. If you establish that relationship, you'll get a return on that in terms of ROI. It's not about dollars, it's about the people, which will then eventually convert to potential dollars for you.
I'd like to ask you, what's your call to action?
What's my call to action? Wow. Well, I think generally speaking, my call to action really here is for you to find your branded voice, right? I want you all to think about what your branded voice is, what you have to offer, what is your value offer the world, figure out what that is, and start engaging and amplifying and making a difference in the world. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
I will give you. Thank you so much.
That's great, eh? That's great, yeah. Really? I know.